Okay, so let's start. So here we are gathered for learning, like seeing the demo for SAP S/4HANA, the enterprise management, how the version will be the release version will be changed from the last SAP ECC, and what are the continuous innovation in S/4HANA field, and how SAP is coming up in the market with his own approach for deploying S/4HANA. And we'll be seeing, like, we'll be talking about what will be the course content for our S/4HANA enterprise management, and what are the releases with S/4HANA. And we'll be seeing, like, why people will go for S/4HANA, what are the challenges they faced over SAP ECC. So SAP has come up with such kind of scenarios, like such kind of solution. So where they simplified into one box or one solution, which is called SAP S/4HANA. So I'll just take you through, like, what are the changes, what are the new modules available, how we can migrate it to S/4HANA, and what is the course content. Okay, so basically this course is for all the available in the SAP implementations, like SAP solution architects, business analytics, functional consultants, techno-functional, technical consultant, BWBI, and as well as the end user. So being a new product, for an end user perspective, you need to know how you need to see how you can go through each screen, how you can input your data from end user perspective. Being a solution architect, you need to know how to deploy the SAP S/4HANA solution. And from a business analytics point of view, and BI, BW consultant, you need to know the reporting part, how we are going to do the reporting in S/4HANA. And from a functional consultant, techno-functional consultant, it will be as traditional as it is. So we need to define the process, we need to improve the process, we need to streamline the process for the clients. So for that, we need to have a overview or the understanding, or a deep dive understanding for the S/4HANA. So if you can see, what are the key innovations of SAP HANA. So SAP came up with a simplified data model, and they make it an accelerated process and a simple and responsive user interface, which can run over any tab, any mobile phone, any browser, that will be platform independent. And they come up with a deployment option which is available on-premise and cloud. Before that, I want to tell you one more thing, like why SAP came up with such a thing called S/4HANA. So if you see from a company perspective or industry perspective, there are so many complexities hidden in the enterprises. Like there can be a scattered informations, there can be a batch orientation, like posting the jobs and posting the complex business process, and there is a technology limitation with every enterprises. Okay, so if you can see from a from a survey, we came to know that around 10.2%, or $237 billion, where companies are making loss on a every year for due to these complexities hidden in the enterprises. So what SAP does is SAP came up with a solution which which is having a simplified data model, which is having a new user experience, advanced processing, choice of deployment, and the moreover they make all the boxes, or if you can see previously, like SAP APO, SAP ECC, SAP SCM, CRM, these are all different boxes, right? So they combined it, or they consolidated it and make it into one, and now it is available as a S/4HANA. And apart from that, they simplified the business process. They instead of as you can see making a 10 line of 10 line of transactions, they make it into 2 line of transactions. So in that way, they're trying to simplify the SAP S/4HANA. And moreover, the deployment options for the customer will be a favorable topic, where instead of putting a lot of money for an on-premise installation or on-premise deployment, they can go for a cloud model where you can pay as you go kind of thing, or subscription kind of thing. So that is a more major advantage for deploying SAP S/4HANA. Okay, so and apart from that, traditionally what was happening, like if you can see SAP ECC is the backbone, which will be interacting with systems like APO, EWM, TM. Okay, so that will be separate boxes, and it is always a challenge to keep the systems consistent with respect to a master data and transaction data while interfacing with each other, right? Also, APA does not have integrated with TM, and sometimes scheduling becomes a problem if the client use both APO and GATP and TM, right? So S4HANA will reduce those challenges with integration by combining different applications in a single system. You're getting my point, right? You're following me, right, guys? So they come up with a solution called S4HANA. So this is basically a high-level roadmap of 2016. SAP is coming up with a quarterly release now. This era like 2016. So the last version which was released was 16.1615, which I did not include in my PPT, but we are working on 1511, which is available on-premise edition or a cloud edition also. Okay. So
excuse me, Pramod. Sorry to cut you. This is free. So when we are talking about the on-premise, it starts with 1.5, and when it's the cloud edition, right, it starts with 1.6. So
right, 1.615. Correct.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean
the
to
cloud
say
edition always starts with 1.6. So if it is
you mean to say that cloud edition is 1.6? You mean to say that?
Yeah,
right?
If it is a 1.6, you can kindly say it is a cloud edition. If it is 1.5, it is a.
The naming convention was designed like that way. This was when we were when we were part of the SAP S4 HANA architecture team. Okay, that time this PPT was released. After that we changed into 16.11. So that I will change it and produce that one. Don't worry about it. So just a naming. So when it will be coming to on-premise, that will 15.11, as Sri told. When it will come to cloud edition, it's 1.6, correct? Okay. So there are certain process. I just put some slides for on respective of a process. I just want to give a version comparison for a cloud and on-premise. Okay. So for a procurement process, if you can see, these are the apps for operational purchase, accountable payable accountant, purchasing manager, buyer, real-time analytics. These are available with on-premise and cloud, and all these are available with on-premise only, if you can see my slide. And for the procurement process, there is nothing only applicable for a cloud. So from an inventory management perspective, there is a real inventory management on-premise as well as cloud, warehouse clerk. These are basically the roles, the roles and responsibility on perspective of a process. Okay, inventory management. So these are basically available with on-premise and cloud. So why I'm giving such information to you? Whenever you will be part of a decision making, in a client place, so you can have a feature like what are the things are available with on-premise and cloud, and which deployment model you should go for, right, with on-premise or cloud. So the procurement process is already out in the market, inventory management. Then let's go to next one. We do have production planning and execution, and order to cash. One second. Okay. So real-time material planning is cockpit is already available, the MRP planning cockpit, and order to cash process is available only on premise and cloud also. In same way, marketing and customer engagement, quality management, product lifecycle management. So those are the little bit of version comparison between on-premise and cloud for the below process, or the respective processes. Okay, so as I told you earlier, SAP S4 HANA is having a simplified data model, right? So data model, like how we simplified it. So if you can, as you are all from the SAP background, okay, so you must be knowing whenever we'll be creating a a goods issue or goods receipt, or whenever we're creating a sales order, there will be several tables are getting updated in SAP, correct? So
sorry to disturb you.
Yeah.
Sourcing, what happens to sourcing then?
Sorry?
Sourcing, what happens to sourcing? For example, strategic sourcing will be there, request for those and all where it will come.
No, I am just, it's just not audible, you know. There is some background noise is happening.
Sourcing is there, no? Sourcing part.
The material sourcing, that one you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what do you want to know about that?
No, it will be in which part then? Because you, in procurement, you have only mentioned about the procurement process. What will happen to the strategic sourcing part?
See, whatever is released about S/4HANA, that was, for that only I gave a comparison, okay? So sourcing must not be included. That's why I did not give you the comparison. You're telling about the version comparison, right?
Oh,
the process sourcing.
Yes, process sourcing
Correct.
will be in S/4HANA or it will be through your Ariba or something like that. I'm asking. Whether they're planning to put in S/4HANA sourcing module or it will be a separate thing.
No, it is not a separate thing. So just stop thinking about that. You know, for the sourcing and all, there will be a separate thing. Till now, the sourcing is not available in S/4HANA. That's why I did not give you a comparison.
Okay.
Okay. So that is the only thing. And stop thinking that they will be putting a separate boxes for all those, huh? Because SAP, Ariba is already there. So whatever, I'll go to that slide where you can get a clear picture, you know. So I'm not into that slide even, so I don't want to talk about that. So let me go through a simplified data model, then we can go one by one. So just you know, just have a look and just be patient so that you know I can take through each slide, and after that you can put me all the questions whatever you are having in the mind. Okay, so what I was trying to say is a simplified data model, right? So I just told you, you know, whenever we're doing a goods receipt or good issue, or you know, whenever we're doing a sales order billing, so there are multiple tables are getting uploaded or you know getting updated. So like there are some primary tables like header table, item tables, export import tables, index tables, you know, rebate index, output management. Those so many tables are getting updated whenever we are doing a sales order or you know some inventory management kind of operations. Okay, so if you can see, let's talk about the inventory management. You know, so whenever creating a you know goods movement, there are a lot of tables are getting affected, like MKPF, MSEG, MST, TQ, MST. So instead of having all those you know tables in you know ECC, S/4HANA came up with a single table concept, the principle of one. You know, they make it simplified and they came up with a table called MAT DOC. Let me just show you that table also. You know, and apart from that, since I'm not you know touching the architecture because it is already out in the market, and you come to know that you know S/4HANA is an in-memory platform, right? Where like MS SQL and other databases, they were storing it in row based, and it is storing it in a column wise, right? So for that reason, the query search is very you know effective, and it is very quick. So, and it's an in-memory thing, right? So we do have inventory management you know table which is MAT DOC. So if you can just quickly, I'll show you that table. 1 second. Just let me just log in one more time. 1 second. Just bear with me 1 minute. Okay, so lot many fields got removed from the table, and a lot many new fields also added to that. So I'll just take you through the table, just a simple you know glimpse of that, so that you can get an idea like how the tables are you know looking like, and how the tables are presented in S/4HANA. Okay, let's go to AC16. MATDOC. Okay, so this is how the table looks like, the data enter into that. Okay, I'll just show you the fields also. Okay, so these are the fields available in the table. The lot many got changed. Okay, instead of VBAK, VBAP, all those material documents table, instead of that they make it MATDOC. So this table will contain all the data related to inventory management. So same way, if you can see, for accounting also there is a lot of changes happen. They make it ACDOCA, which is for the global general ledger. So all the data will be getting stored into that table. So this is how they make it simplified and combine into a single place. Okay. Okay. So what are the challenges faced by a customer and why the people are coming with S4HANA, or why S4HANA, SAP came up with? So this is slow speed of business process. Always whenever they will be operating a business process, or when they will be creating a sales order or a payment posting, obviously there will be a transaction speed will be slow. Why? Because uh, for querying from the traditional database, it will be taking more time and complex user interface. I am not hearing a nice feedback from any user regarding this SAP GUI, because it is so much rigid that it's very high to do the operations, and high cost of operations, because a lot of people will be involved in that, and SAP has its own best practice to go through that. There will be high cost involved in that, and high cost of infrastructure. That is obviously, you guys will know that, because for every business process or every module, like new dimension modules, SAP SCM, APO, CRM will be putting separate boxes, and longer time of financial close, because for the payment posting, incoming payments, there will be a batch running always. There are longer time will take for doing the financial posting, and the last one is data loading issue. So data loading, because as I told you, in the traditional database, the data are getting stored in rows. So querying from a simple table, even it will be taking more time. So they came up with a simplified process where they made, they cursor many tables and they make it one, and since in memory they are storing it in a column wise, so querying is no more difficult for us. So data loading issue will not be there in S4HANA. Okay, so there are some key takeaways in S4HANA. It's a digital core. It is tightly integrated with all the supply chain collaborations, assets, everything. So there will be a simplified user interface which is available in SAP Fiori. And apart from that, whenever you will be deploying a SAP system for reporting, or for a live reporting, you will be having a SAP BI system which is a separate box, and a lot of people are working for getting you an actual report, right? So HANA is so fast that they will be providing the live reporting in the same server or same in S4HANA. Okay, so I just put a small slide, like between the comparison between SAP GUI and SAP Fiori, and how they are fulfilling human desirability. So if you can see, for one example, you can take clearing incoming payment. The user activity for doing incoming payment clearing, it will be taking 2.25 minutes in standard SAP ECC, right? When it comes to SAP Fiori, it will be 1.07 minutes. So there is a reduction of 53% on that. And for clearing incoming payment, you will be clicking 49 times, whereas in SAP Fiori it will be 22. So screen changes will be around 26 screens, and in SAP Fiori it's a single window where you can do the whole clearing of incoming payments. And whenever it will come to SAP ECC, there will be 9 fields you need to fill, and when it comes to SAP Fiori, it will be 3. So these things, from an example perspective, I put it in a slide. But when you will be acquainted with simple logistics or enterprise management or simple finance, then only you can come to know, like how we can do from a business perspective, like we can use a single window and we can fulfill our whole, business process. Okay, so these are various deployment approach SAP has recommended. Like the people who are already with some existing SAP customer with any database, and existing SAP customer with HANA database, and the purely new customers, right? So these are the various deployment approach available. Like we need to, whoever SAP customers with any database, they need to operate to a native application server, then do a database migration from existing database to SAP HANA. And point to be noted, like you can't use SAP S4 without the HANA database. It can't be run in any database. Okay, it is only made for SAP HANA. Okay, so then you need to install SAP Fiori for S4 HANA, and there will be data migration from old structure to a new simplified structure. So in my thorough as long as you go with the course, I will be giving you data modeling and data provisioning also in HANA, how you can simplify the data migration from an old structure to a new structure. That will be part of my course, because I am into HANA technical also. So I'll give you a glimpse of that, and we can go through one or two examples, one or two processes for that also. So existing SAP customer with HANA database, they need to install the SAP HANA on-premise. They can install SAP Fiori S4 HANA on-premise. So in that way, you can migrate one HANA database customer from old system to a new system. And the new customer, all those native application servers should be required S4 HANA on-premise or cloud. Install SAP Fiori and migration of legacy data. So it can be, this question can be coming to your mind, like still we are using, if you can see here, still I'm using the ECC SAP GUI, right? So you can ask me like why people are still using why S4 HANA came up with this one Fiori Launchpad, right? So the answer to that is SAP currently is now focusing on only the front end part. Maybe in future they are not committing, but there will be definitely these screens will not be there. They are predominantly working on the front end screens only. The back end screens will be slowly they will be removed. They are going to remove it. Okay. So currently, but you can directly use the SAP ECC. Okay, and you can also use the Launchpad directly, and that SAP Fiori Launchpad, which will be coming free, so there won't be any license cost involved in that. So people can use both together. Guys, any question till now? Are you following or? Hello?
Yeah, I'm following.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
So this is the digital core of SAP S4 HANA Enterprise Management. Okay, so we are basically going to see the S4 HANA manufacturing, S4 HANA supply chain, S4 HANA sales, service, and marketing and commerce. Okay, and as I guess Sri said me, right, SAP Ariba and SuccessFactors is already part of the enterprise management. Okay, so these are the modules we are going to see. The sourcing and procurement, as I guess I just forget his name. He raised the question because SAP Ariba was there. Yeah, you can see that, right? SAP S4 HANA sourcing and procurement.
Okay.
Correct? Okay. Yeah. So I'll do one thing, because I'm currently working with manufacturing, supply chain, sales. Okay. So I may not give you a correct answer for sourcing and procurement, but in near future I'll give you a version comparison for sourcing also. Okay, if you're interested. Fine. Okay, so this is just a small best practice for SAP S4 HANA, how you can do the bill of materials. Okay, this PPT will share with you. You can follow that. Sales order processing, sales from stock. Okay, so if you can see, just quickly, I'll just show you that one. I'll just zoom it. In S4 HANA, there is nothing called consultants. You can see there are role based internal sales representative who will be doing all these activities. credit management, sales distribution, sales quotation, create sales, credit management again, and the advanced shipping planner guy who will be doing the delivery, picking, batches, freight, post goods, and billing clerk will be creating billing document, and year-end posting, right? The sales period and closing operations and incoming post. So the thing is that previously what was happening, there will be different people who will be working on these fields, so you need to do the transition from various screens to screen, right? So here in S4 HANA, can you guys please mute yourself because I am just having a noise in the back end. Okay. So in S4 HANA, it will be in a single screen where you can see starting from the customer master data to the incoming payment. Okay. So there is no more, screen transitions will be available with S4 HANA. In the Fiori Launchpad, if I will show you, in the same screen itself, you can see all the detail with analytics as well as, the operations. Fine. So on-premise edition 15.1.1 FES02. So these are the, basic processes available. So the inventory management, where you can gather supplier information, master data, sourcing and contract management, operational procurement, inventory and basic warehouse management, invoice and payable management. So if you go for material requirement planning, there are plan to product, order to cash, request to service, resource, core finance. All those modules are recently available, where customer can streamline their business process and go ahead with this. Okay, so there is one more thing, SAP come up with LOB, line of business, so these are the things available, simplifying many line of businesses, finance, supply chain, R&D, sales, services. So instead of going through a traditional process, having a procurement or order to cash, so they simplified it, and that we will see it in the future, like how we can go through that, and SAP always kept a door open. If you want to go through your standard business process also, that you can configure in S4 HANA always. Okay, so for a information perspective, I just give you a architectural view for real-time analytics, how they are getting queried from HANA database layer, ABAP layer. Sorry. Okay, there will be operational reporting. That means you will be do the reporting on a fly. There won't be an traditional method where you will be getting the data on a interval basis, right? So there will be operational reporting which you can do on the fly with S4 HANA. So that is the biggest advantage over here. So here we can see in the SAP Business Suite, there are various topics: master data, CRM, sales and distributions, logistics, okay, cross topics, basic topics. So they make it simplified and they make it like this: streamlined, procure to pay, okay, which will start from the master data ending with finance. Okay, there won't be different persons involved doing that. Accelerated plan to product, optimized order to cash, enhanced request service, core human resource, core finance. So like this it will be coming in the future, or it is available in S4 HANA. Okay, so this is just a release strategy for 2006 and a definition of delivery. So they will be releasing on a quarter basis. So but the training will be on 15.1.1 because we are working on that one, and we are very much familiar with Simple Logistics in 15.1. Okay, so but anyways, we'll be end of the course, we'll be seeing how we can have 1615 and what are the changes will be there in the cloud version. That obviously will be looking into that. Okay, so as I told you, there will be SAP solution architects and business people will be involved. So for them, I'm just putting it for a project plan and timelines. If you see the traditional SAP ECC installation, it will be take 8 to 9 months. But if you come to S4 HANA, it will be hardly taking 4 months max. Okay, and if you can see, there are the various steps which are SAP is following for deciding on a timeline or deciding on a project timeline perspective. They will be do a SAP involvement introduction. There will be preparation of customer data, customer workshop where they will do CRP, conference room pilot kind of thing. They will be gathering the SAP business process. Then they will do a follow-up, and after that they will be creating the blueprint, and then the project will be falling into place. And there will be, for the traditional SAP ECC installation, we are following SAP methodology, but they come up with SAP Activate, where you can discover, prepare, explore, realize, and deploy kind of thing. There will not be, there are 3D where we are always using for from a deployment perspective, like delivery, design, and discussion. So they come up with discover, prepare, explore, realize, and deploy. Okay, so it will be SAP Activate. You can log in and look into that. So finally, the course content, what are the things we are going to cover in here. SAP Hana, we'll see data modeling and data provisioning. We'll give you a glimpse on that. SAP S4 Hana, the roadmap and everything. Logical delta changes, review of delta changes in perspective of FICO, PM, QM, PS, and services, and SAP Fiori, basically. So, from the logistic delta changes, we'll be looking for master data delta changes. I'll give you an example on the next slide. Sales and distribution delta changes, material management perspective, procurement planning perspective, and marketing, the new line of business SAP came up with in enterprise management. So that we'll be looking extensively. So for a like I just given one example for the material number. It was previously 18 characters. Now they make it 40 characters. Okay. Previously, what was happening? The internal table database. Okay, the length was 18 characters, but whenever we are using a third-party device or different UI, we need, like, suppose we are using a van cells. Okay, one van cells application. So we'll be querying the data from the SAP database, but it will give me a 18 character number. But in my screen, I want to show it to a 40 character or 30 character. Okay, so those kind of changes SAP came up with. So they come up with external directly the material will be 40 characters material number, and it is already in internal tables. So DIMP, the discrete industry customers and meal products, they will not be using llama anymore. Llama is nothing but input output conversion of materials. So they will be directly using 40 characters material number. So there are some changes are done with on a database perspective, like the length of the length of the object, the data element of the object. So those changes we'll be discussing in our course, and we'll see what is the impact of key innovation on the business process. So how we can create a sales order, outbound delivery, goods issue, billing document, and check the data in SD table. Like as I told you, we can refer only MAT DOC table for that. Then, okay, so SAP came up with new names like principle of one, because they make procure to pay and order to cash in a single screen, where you can see you're creating goods receipt, purchase order, material document, how the tables are getting populated. All those things we're going to see inside inventory management. Then material requirement planning will be seeing. MRP, because previously MRP was a headache for us because we are not getting the live data for stock out and stock in, so that we can't plan for a order to OTC cycle or a P2P cycle. So for that, since in S4 HANA the query is so fast and the timeline is so less, then we can do a live MRP planning for that. So plan to product and order to cash, we will see from MRP perspective. Then we will see how we can user experience for a order management and billing, how we can do goods issues, sales order, billing document, how we are going to create from a from a sales perspective. Then we will see the material valuation, like the table MCDOCA for goods issue and goods receipt from a OTC, procure to pay and manufacturing perspective. So then we will see the journal entries from SCDOCA table, how the incoming payment posting will happen and how it is updating the table. Then there are some delta changes we will be discussing regarding the master data, product PLM cycle, pricing on perspective of sales and procurement, credit management, foreign trade, automotive, analytics. Okay, because in S4 HANA in a single screen you can get all the detail. Okay, so we need to have an idea of everything. So user experience and Fiori, that is our beauty of the course. We'll be give a glimpse of the technical side, how you can define your user role, how you can assign the role to a user, like from a procurement perspective or OTC perspective. So we'll give a glimpse of SAP Fiori, SAP UI5. So you can handle it on a basic level or a level 1 support you can give to your customer. So introduction to web IDE, workflow in SAP Fiori, and HANA Cloud Platform. And moreover, we will be giving one class on OData service, how you can create OData service, how we are going to do the query from SAP Network Gateway to HANA database. Okay, so let's for a information perspective, I'll put you the certification detail in front of you. So these are the various certifications available in the market now. So introduction to SAP S4 HANA, S4 HANA innovative logistics process in SAP, enhancement to process in procurement, sales function and innovations, manufacturing functions and innovations. So those many certifications are available in the marketplace. So if you guys are interested, then you can go ahead with that. Fine. So this is just an informative session for you. So is there any questions for me? If you want to see the this one launchpad, then I'll just show you that. So this is how the Fiori login screen will be. Okay, so just it's a demo system, so may not be data are available, but I'll show you how the roles will be. 1 second. Okay, so from a sales analytics point of view or a sales information point of view, let's put sales order. So this is how screens are looking like. You can put one sales order. You can get the detail for that. So here also same like ECC, but it will be a user responsive and user friendly. So you can do create change over here. You can get all your item overview, detail, ordering party. Okay, I'm just exiting. Okay, here also you can see your EG access, just like a portal. Okay, from a sales analytics. So it will be like this, from a single screen, like nowadays the browsers will be coming like for informative, website. You can see a single screen. So it will be a single screen where you can do all your activities. It is just a demo system, so I can show you the real-time data. But maybe in the next sessions we can see how the data will be happening. KPI modeler over here. Okay, so any questions for me? Like if you want to know anything else? Hello?
So the SAP MDM, MDG, all the systems will be now stopped, right?
Sorry?
SAP MDM is there, SAP MDM or SAP MDG, all the systems are there, everything will be now closed or?
You mean to say the master data management, right?
Yeah,
MDM.
Management,
Correct.
yeah.
Okay. So no, it's all are now integrated, into a single system. Okay. So basically, as I told you, many times there will be not like SAP MDM or SAP MM kind of thing. Now it will be a process oriented. Only like you can see for order to cycle or procure to pay or incoming payments posting, that will be a process level available, and whatever data you required for a process level, that will be all available in the Hana system.
Hello Pramod, this is Uday.
Yeah, Uday, please.
Yeah, as we are talking about the business process from complete end-to-end cycle, like from sales division to billing cycle, from procure to
Right,
pay and how to cash,
right,
all those things. So
correct.
how about the configuration part in this case? Because
Yes,
we have
configuration part, I'll just show you that. See, here only we'll do the configuration. Same way it will be having SPRO. Okay. As a consultant, you will be working in the back end. There will be logistic generals. Okay, here you are going to do the configuration. You can see there are no sales and distribution, right? And there are material masters. So here only you are doing the configuration, and there will be a OData or a Fiori launchpad kind of thing where it is connected to SAP backend. So whatever you will be doing here, it will be reflecting in the front end part. So by being an end user, you will be working. Being an end user, the guys will be working in the front end. So whatever changes will be required, you will be doing from your SPRO and so as
but my question is like because we are from different modules, right? So how will not be knowing the configuration part from the other modules, like for instance SD perspectives or such different modules. So at that time, how this guide us?
I seriously did not get that. Actually, its voice is not audible.
Yeah,
Can you just bit high?
yeah, okay. Because I
Yeah.
mean, I'm from PP module.
Production
So
planning.
this
Okay, great.
this course goes for SD module, MM module, PP module, and some supply chain module also, right?
Right.
So my area of perspective was previously I was working for configuration in PP side, not
Right.
into configuration, neither into SD. So in
Right.
that way, when I'm going for this course,
Right.
so will I be knowing the configuration part of SD side?
See, Uday, we are not touching here the whole configuration you are required for a P2P or OTC. Okay, we will be doing only the changes. What are the delta changes available in S/4HANA?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, so being a logistic guy, you need to know little bit of OTC, little bit of P2P, little bit of production planning also. Okay,
Yeah, the
so
business.
correct, business flow you need, right? So from a
Yeah.
business, we will see in a both angle. We will be see from a business perspective as well from a configuration perspective.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Sure, Pramod. Thank you.
Yeah. So anybody, Mr. Tripura or Mr. Sudhakar, is there any question for me?
No, Pramod, I'm okay.
Yeah. So Manish, here it ends. Is there any question from anybody? So I'm ready to clear that.
Okay, so I guess